Hey everyone, it's Joe with Blakesley Acres. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing another project. I was working on it already. It's right there behind me, right here. And what this is going to be is new chick brooder. It's going to be a freestanding outdoor chick brooder. We're going to be using this for mainly I'm building a big one like this for our meat chickens. But we'll probably raise our meat turkeys and any layer chicks through this too. We're doing this because I've been wanting a freestanding brooder. We've needed one with plenty enough space to raise, batches of 100, 150 birds at a time. And my meat birds are coming in the first week of June, end of May, first week of June. So when I ordered them for. The only reason I ordered them so late is the last couple of years I've gotten them at the beginning of May, and we've got snowstorms and stuff which delayed getting them out on pasture. They're too small to be out in that kind of weather, and so I backed it off. But now it's looking like we're gonna have great weather for it, so I could have ordered another batch ahead of time. I may still, I'm not sure. We'll see what the next couple weeks hold of weather. I might go and buy a small batch of 50 just to get another batch going. As soon as this brooder is done, my next project after that's going to be starting to work on my chicken tractors. I want to build at least 2 Joe Salatin style chicken tractors, with a little bit of a design twist on it that I'm thinking of, to make it a little bit easier to use them. I wanted to go with the John Siskovich style chicken tractors, but right now I need to keep my costs down just starting out, and they are a little bit more pricey to build and they hold less chickens, so it just makes more sense for me starting out to go with the Joe Salatin style. I've done both styles. I've got the hoop tractors that the pigs are in right now. They're just way too heavy, and if I'm not around to move these chicken tractors, they don't get moved right now. Our small ones, they're only like 3 foot by 8 foot. I only can put 20 birds comfortably in there, max. And I got 3 of those. So I'm trying to up, because the 10 by 12 tractors, I think that's the size I'm going to go with, supposedly can hold 75 meat birds in them, which if I build 2 tractors, that'll be my whole first batch of birds in 2 tractors, which will minimize my chores, not having to move so many small pens and water so many small pens. So that just makes a lot more sense to me to go that route for now and see how it goes this year. But first course of business is getting this brooder up and running. Yeah, so follow along and we'll get working on this, see how far we can get today. So the sidewalls on this brooder, these are 16 inches. That's plenty of head space for these chicks. I don't plan on having them in this brooder any longer than 3 weeks. Weather permitting, hopefully I'll be able to get them out at 2.5 weeks, depending on how their feathering is. The length of this brooder is 9 foot 6 inches by 3 foot 11 inches, just shy of 4 feet wide. This is going to be a huge game changer. The floor is a pallet that I got from my brother. I have another one sitting right over here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. It's a little bit bigger than that one. Some of the materials I've bought, and some of the materials are repurposed. Like most of my projects on the farm, I try to use up as much stuff as I can that is cheap, free, or scavenged off other projects. You got to be able to make do with what you have starting a small farm. There's not a lot of income at first, so to get your products up and going in projects, you got to be able to look at something and see something else come out of it. So that's what I'm doing with this pallet. It's going to be heavy duty. I should be able to pick it up and move it around with the tractor. Right now I propped it up. I got it up off the ground and got it in a level spot. The waters I use are self-filling drinking cups. I will try to get some of those in this video and show you what I'm talking about. I use a PVC setup, and at the end of whichever end I put the watering system on this brooder, I'm going to have a 5-gallon pail or a little bit larger holding tank for the water. It's going to hang on the side. It'll go down through the wall, and the waters will be on one side, and my feeders will be over here on the other side, or vice versa, whichever I decide. And the heat source will be right in the middle, so they have to move out of the heat to get to the food and water. You don't want to keep the whole brooder at a really high temp. You want to be able to give your chicks area to move in and out of the heat. I was actually given this old style brooder right here. It's underneath. It's an electric heating element in there, but the old style, the cords and stuff are all shot. So what I'm thinking with this unit is I'm going to pull all the old heating elements out. It's going to be on a different video. And I'm actually going to mount 2 heat lamp structures right inside of this. I'm going to drill a hole through this thin metal, and I'm going to take the heat shield off. Hold on a second. This one right here, I'm going to wire a new cord into it. I've got a couple of these that have broken, stuff's chewed on them. But the fixture itself right here is perfectly fine. So what you do is you just unscrew it, and you have access to the screws to rewire it. Now, I'm not saying this everybody should do stuff like this. I've messed around a lot with making little projects. I like doing this kind of stuff. But what I'm going to do is unscrew this, pull it out. I'm going to drill a hole that size for the threads to go through. I'm going to mount one on each side, and I'm going to, instead of using the red infrared bulbs, they have like a heavy duty ceramic bulbs that a lot of people use for their reptile tanks. I'm thinking about buying those. They don't break as easy, so it's a little bit safer, and by putting them in this unit, I'll be able to keep the heat source down, but the chicks will be able to move back and forth. And I'm also, my plan is to buy, there's a, I forgot, Inkbird Brewing Company has a thermostat. A lot of people buy them to run their homemade cooler units. I'm going to do the complete opposite. I'm going to use that to control the heat in this. The probe will sit in there. I'll have it mounted on the side, and I'll have it, I think, I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a few degrees temperature differential in that, so it'll kick on at say 95, and it'll kick off when it hits 100 degrees. So the brooder will never get too hot or too cold. And then having this unit inside of that will help keep the heat down, so on the cooler nights and stuff, the chicks will be able to cuddle right up underneath there, and you're not having to worry about heating up the whole structure to that temperature. I'm pretty excited about this project. I think it's going to make a huge difference in my brooding operation for these meat birds and turkey poults and stuff. That's always been a huge struggle, especially when you're working away from your farm. If you're using heat lamps to keep your chicks warm, you know, here in New York, in Western New York, our temperatures, you know, it could be 30 degrees overnight, but just this last week we had 80-degree temperatures during the day. And if you're not right on top of it, I've had this happen to me before, where your chicks get way too hot and they'll end up dying of a heat stroke, because it was 35 degrees when I left for work, and by the time I came home to do my afternoon chores, it was 70, 80 degrees, which raised the brooder temperature way too hot for the chicks. So by doing this thermostat, I mean, the Inkbird thing, the last time I looked at them, I want to say they were like $40. I've got a couple of these used. I've got, I bought 2 sheets of plywood, or OSB, sorry, and a few screws and nails. This whole project with paint, my kids want to paint it. and that'll help keep the OSB intact. So I'm fine with that. This whole project should cost me under $150. I'm excited about this, so I want to get going on it. So that's the dimensions. Like I said, 16-foot high or 16-inch high sidewalls, just shy of 4 foot wide, 9.5 foot long. I'm gonna do the calculations towards the end of the video, and I'll be able to tell you how many meat turkeys or meat chickens or chicks, laying poults, I'll be able to brood in this comfortably by the industry standards. So my plan with this is this front half of the roof, that's going to have hinges on it, and it's going to come up for me to get in there, check chicks, add fresh bedding, feed, check water, whatever. The back wall is going to be stationary. I'm never going to be able to take that off. This front wall, however, I'm going to make this removable with a few screws. So when it's time to move the chicks out, clean it, put the next batch of whatever in here, I can just remove that wall. I'll be able to rake it right out and scoop it up. It wouldn't be a big deal to just flip the lid open. I might do that sometimes, just depends on what's going on. But I have like a little slid thing that'll slide up underneath there. Perfect. Take that over to my compost pile when I'm cleaning it out. So that's my game plan for this so far. I've got 3 hinges go across the top. I'm going to frame in this wall with some of these 2x2s that I have. And I'm just going to run a few screws around the frame of it. And that's how I'm going to be able to take that wall right off when the time comes. Yeah, just getting this test fitted in here. It's just a little too wide. It's not a big deal. Get the angle grinder out. I'll shave the edges off that kind of poke out there and get all the heating element stuff cut out of it. So I'm not going to put that other wall in right yet until I get that ready to put in. I want to be able to take the wall out, slide that out. That'll keep that sturdy and stationary right where it's at. So yeah.
How are you gonna put the roof on, Dad?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
There's going to be a roof on it?
You have to have a roof.
Why?
Because.
I'm going to screw that side right down, and then this side I got to make a frame.
Yeah. There's yellow flowers popping up now. of them. And one's grandpa, one's yours. Dad, one's yours and one's grandpa's. Dad, and one's yours, one's grandpa's.
What? They're both fine.
Then why are you using both of them?
Because one I've been cutting the metal with. Careful.
Dad, are these the same size?
Those are different, buddy.
But I know, but are they the same size?
Yeah, those two are. Yes.
Let's go. Dad, it slipped off.
It's alright. It can sit down on the floor.
Okay. When I was coming, then it slipped off.
It's alright. Okay, got a lot done on this thing today. A lot more than I was expecting to. So far, I'm going to keep working on it a little bit. I just built a little block out of some of the straps to hold that door up when we're feeding them and having to pull chicks out of there. I still got to put some screws in this wall here just to hold it in, but that is removable. Pop out, I don't know, half a dozen screws out of it and I'll be able to pop that right out, clean her out real nice. Yeah, the structure's done. I'm almost considering, I got a small piece of plexiglass. I'm thinking about cutting a hole in this end here and putting like a little window in. It'll be easier for me and the kids to look in there, keep the kids from opening up all the time. Just check on things real quick as we're walking by, and give a little natural light in there too. I don't like that it's dark and stuffy like it is, but most brooders are. So if I can get some natural light in there, that'll be pretty cool. I might even make it so it pops out so it can be a vent if they get older and they don't need the heat anymore. For some reason they're still in there, because you just never know. Did a little reading while I was waiting for some batteries to charge, and they say you're looking at about a half a square foot per chick. That's up to 4 weeks old. They should not be in this thing more than 2.5, 3 weeks, I'm hoping, weather permitting. Especially in the summer, they won't be. We get real hot days here. As long as they're, the nights aren't getting colder, we don't have a storm, I'm going to transition them right up to the chicken tractors as soon as possible. So I should be able to put a little over 100 birds in this. 4-week-old birds, you don't want any more than 75 going by that square footage, which is still a lot of chicks. But if I can get my batches running through here, and see how this year goes, I might possibly build a second one of these so I can be running, a 2-week cycle on meat birds, if that's how things work out for us. I'm waiting to see how this year turns out with feed prices continuing to increase, it seems like. They've been steady for a little while now, but you just never know. I could think that it's going to be steady for the summer and they'll shoot up again. So yeah, that's the game plan right now. I'll have this brooder will be perfect for the batches I'm doing this year. I have them spaced out quite a ways just because availability was ridiculous this year. I'm not getting a second batch until beginning of August, which kind of sucks because then I'm not butchering until October, mid-October with some of the ones that we're getting. So I have Cornish crosses and Freedom Rangers. I like the Freedom Rangers with the Cornish cross for sales. It's a faster turnaround, better feed conversion. There's tons of videos out there on it. I like raising the Freedom Rangers. I have nothing against them, and they're within a few hours, so I've always had good luck. I actually, this first batch that's coming in, I'm getting not regular Freedom Rangers, I'm getting the colored yield, which I raised last year, and I had good luck with them, about 10 to 12 weeks I was butchering. And then I also have Freedom Rangers White Ranger. It's a Cornish variety that they hatch. I've never tried them before, but I wanted to raise some more Cornish. So yeah, we'll see how they do. I'm hoping that they grow out just as quick as every other Cornish that I've raised. 8 weeks. Be nice to break up the butchering process on all these chickens, because I'll be raising 250 this year, and my boss I think is also raising 250, and we help each other butcher. So that's 500 birds we'll be doing between our two farms this year, and trying to hammer them out. It's not too bad. If we could do batches of 50 or 60 a day with just 2 or 3 people, it's not too bad. But we also, most of our chickens, we're doing a full breakdown. We don't just do whole birds, so it takes our processing a little bit longer doing that. But our families and the people that we raise chickens for utilize the meat a lot better, and a lot of people like it broke down like that. The people I raise them for, they come and help. We do a big processing day, and all of our families come together. That'll be my first batch. That's 50 for us, 50 for 2 other families each. And we just do a big processing day, and it helps out. It keeps their costs down, because then I don't have to charge them for processing the birds. They bring their own bags and stuff, and we just make a day out of it, get lunch, and it's actually a pretty decent time. It's great spending time with your family and friends like that, and everybody gets a hand in on their food. I do all the raising and everything else, and then it's nice having the extra hands come kill day. So yeah, I'm gonna get a little bit more done on this thing today and see if I can get this window cut in here. figure out a way to get that mounted up and do a little work on the heat part of it. So stay tuned. All right, everyone. It's a couple days later. Haven't had a chance to really get a whole lot more done on this chicken brooder. Just been busy. have a lot going on. A lot of exciting stuff coming for the farm and homestead. So you guys will learn as we go. But I did end up getting the window cut in and partially framed, and I started cutting out the old heating element. I got that all cut out. So my plan is, see, there's vents that you can adjust there, thermostat that goes in here, but in two of these sides, that's where I'm going to be drilling those holes and putting those heating elements with the bulbs in that are going to run up, and they'll run inside here. They'll run up inside the roof here, and the thermostat will hang up inside here somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to mount it. And I'm going to put it under, I'm going to put the actual temp sensor underneath. I'm going to put the temp sensor underneath here where it's going to have the most heat. So it'll control that area a little bit better than trying to put it out in the common area that's not going to have the heat lamps so close to the ground. So that's where I'm at with this right now. I got a couple more weeks before birds show up, so I really want to get on this. I'm going to order the thermostat setup tonight, I think, and hopefully I can get this completed this weekend coming up. The weather's not supposed to be that great, but I need to power through it and get it done because I got a ton of other projects coming up, and I want to get this one wrapped up and have it set up and ready for birds to show up. It's like I said, like, subscribe, comment, share if you enjoy what we're doing. We got a bunch of exciting stuff coming up. I don't want to spoil it, so you guys, hope you guys stick along and keep up with what we got going on. Thanks. I hope to see you on the next one.